So I'm going to a new shoot today. It's down in Kent. It's called Montreal Estate. I've never been before. I'm really looking forward to this. It's been quite some time since I've been to a brand new shoot. Such a friendly bunch, but that's the thing with shooting. It's just wherever you go, you meet people from all walks of life. And I've just sat down and the chap that owns the shoot was on the side of me, and another chap who's relatively local who happens to know two of my good friends who I shoot with in other parts of the country, and it's just such a small community. And it's just like I've just said, you can be in the top of Scotland, you can be in Cornwall, you can be down here in Kent, wherever. It's just, the shooting world is so friendly. And you always feel included. You know, when you come to these places, I used to feel a little bit apprehensive. You know, if you sometimes shoot with people you don't know, and these days I very, very rarely shoot with people I don't know. But it's just concreted it that it is such a great thing to do with the nicest people you could ever meet. So normally on this shoot I would have been on the gun bus, but just because we've got the boys filming today, I'm just driving around on my own. So I've mentioned to the guns I'm not trying to be Billy No Mates, but just we're following them round, and so they're all getting ready on the gun bus in front of us right now. So it's all very nicely done here. The place is immaculate. So we're number 9, we're on the far left-hand side of the line. Pincer movement by the sound of it, coming in from the left, probably coming in from the right as well. So he said there might be some birds breaking over these Sitka trees to our left. I think I'm not going to get an awful lot of driven stuff here by the sound of it, more which you expect at this time of year. So hopefully we can catch some naughty ones out, sneaking out during the drive if they come. Always nice to have the anticipation of not knowing what is going to go on, because I haven't got a clue. I'm just guessing. Here we go. That's not a good start. So I often get asked, what is a sporting bird? And a sporting bird varies from shoot to shoot, from what gun you're using. I'll use an example today. So I was using my 12 bore, and I was using, you know, fairly, not huge cartridges by any means, but fairly substantial cartridges, and I wouldn't have got any pleasure from shooting those birds just for the sake of killing them. Now, had it been a day where we were shooting 28 bores or 410s, for example, smaller guns, I'd have been delighted to shoot those birds because they're more challenging with those things. So again, it's very difficult to generalize on what a sporting bird is. So when we go to Wales and Scotland, Yorkshire, Exmoor, on the very high driven birds, those days are based on a bag. So the last thing you want to do is go to those shoots and start shooting more traditional birds, because you're there to shoot the high birds, simple as that. But then at the end of the season, you might be asked to go and not be so picky, for want of a better word, and you do shoot some more mediocre birds. You don't blow them up, there's none of that goes on. But to me, what typifies what is a sporting bird? Well, it's a bird that gives you pleasure from shooting it, and that can mean a totally different thing to me to the chap, you know, across the way. But the reality of it is, with pheasant shooting, it's usually when there's a flush of birds coming through, then they're virtually, you know, on traditional shoots they're nearly always in range. So pick the nice high ones, the ones that give you pleasure. And if you're missing a few of them, just come down a bit. Shoot a slightly lower one, doesn't have to be a very low one, and then get your eye in, and then go back up to the higher ones. But you know, it's a very, very difficult question to answer. Here we go, boys. More coming. Here they come, and again over the trees. That cockbird. On the first drive, I was on the end of the line, and you'll notice there were quite a few birds that I didn't actually shoot at, purely because they were sneaking out quite low out the sides. That is just because I was on the end of the line, and that's where the naughty birds that have been shot at previously through the season, they sneak out. To our right, going through the middle, there were some fabulous birds. That's the luck of the draw on these things. So I chose not to shoot them. I could have shot them, but I chose not to, because you're there to shoot what you enjoy. You're not there just to kill. It's not wanton killing. You're there to shoot what you enjoy, and shoot what gives you pleasure. And as a great friend of mine says in the mornings, shoot what gives you pleasure and shoot enthusiastically, and you always enjoy your day. If you go with that, you know, in mind, you'll always have a wonderful time. So we're on the second drive here. I'm number 2 this time. We've got a gun down to our right. If you look down there, there's a person with a spaniel with an old Springer. That's the beaters, and Lance, who's running the day, has basically said for us to walk down off our pegs. We've probably got about 50 yards from our peg. And peg number, the chap who's shooting number 1 is about 100 yards down, and we're just going to walk back in with the beaters, so to catch out any breaking out. We've got a busy road down to our right, but we're in a pretty little sort of hollow here. It's quite nice. I would imagine this would have all been planted specifically for shooting years ago. It's got that feel about it anyway.
Thank you for watching this short clip of one of our films. If you enjoyed it, there is plenty more. Head over to fieldfoodandcountry.co.uk and become a member today.